Before we even get to it, because a lot of folks who watched the broadcast yesterday seem to not understand when Mary Barra said they're a competitor. Elon Musk is a competitor on the Tesla piece of his life. Obviously, Twitter is not a competitor, but giving money from a car manufacturer, GM, to somebody who owns Twitter, who therefore could potentially take that money and use it in the Tesla context. That's what that was about. We had a lot of people who unfortunately seem to miss what that sort of competitor piece was about. But Adam, how much do you think that this pause that you're seeing is actually from competitors versus those who are genuinely worried about content moderation?
Yeah, I don't think it's about competition. Good morning, everyone. I'll tell you, I'm optimistic about Twitter. I think it's a good product. They reach great people. Advertisers want to be next to those people. Elon Musk, if you take rockets to space and back, you can figure out advertising. So to me, I'm optimistic about that. I think the main question, which I'm not sure people really spend time on, is that it's not about whether advertisers are back or not. To me, the right advertisers were never really there to begin with, because Twitter always, underinvested and never focused on building a great performance advertising business for marketers. So the biggest really upside is, can Elon do that? Can he build a top tier, performance advertising product like Facebook and Google and grow from 5 to 20, not from $5 to $3 billion in revenue?
Well, Adam, do you think that what he's doing thus far, from what you're seeing, is that in truth the emphasis for him? I mean, right now he seems to be focused very much on the user experience. Maybe behind the scenes he's working on building that platform. And you're right, the experience on an Instagram, for example, I find myself clicking on those ads for better or worse. And I don't know if it's the environment of Twitter that creates an environment where it's harder to want to click. I don't know. I don't know what's preventing that from happening.
I think it's mainly about technology and relevance. I think it can be done. We love Twitter. I mean, we all spend so much time in the platform. If they show you things you want to buy, you would click on it and buy it. I mean, Instagram advertising product is so good from a performance advertising perspective. I would pay Instagram to see ads, right? So that's how good it can be. And I think that's the biggest, if I would compare Twitter to Tesla, this is the battery. Like, that's what Elon needs to do. And I think it can be, it can be done. I do think, Elon is spending, naturally, this is phase one of his, company running journey. He spends more time on the user experience and the product, on the moderation, and I think jury's out on what decision he'll make.
But Adam, it also sounds like one of the things that he wants to do is not be reliant on advertisers, right? I mean, a part of his argument around free speech is that he wanted to turn this into a subscription product with Twitter Blue and the like, thinking that if you could actually move the revenue piece to the user, then you wouldn't be beholden to the advertiser. And maybe this idea of creating either safe spaces or moderating content one way or another to try to placate the CMO of some Fortune 50 company.
Of course you need advertising on Twitter. I mean, Elon he speaks about making this a universal free speech stage, for consumers and democracy. And, advertising will allow this to be free anywhere for anyone. There's no other way. So I think for two reasons, advertising is needed. One, because it's the only way you can make Twitter, fulfill his vision, the way he speaks about it, to make it accessible and free for anyone in the world. And two, I think it's the only way Twitter goes from what it is now to potentially 10, 15, $20 billion in revenue. It's a business. Advertising is the only way it happens. So while I think we'll see diversity in revenue mixes, by the way, we see it in the open web. I see it with our publishers. We see different types of revenue mix, but advertising will always be, in my opinion, the enabler for free, great products.